Okay, it's official. I am now an oatmeal guy. Sounds weird to say it out loud, but like a tiger in tall grass, it just kind of snuck up on me. I had to try it. And now, here I am, an oatmeal guy.
The Samsung Galaxy Note 9 is the most powerful Note ever. And it's available now, which means you can start streaming, downloading, and posting faster than ever with a crazy fast network connection.
Someone is going to be up on that stage. Find a different way. Sell out that show. Dig deeper. Write that blog. Become an icon. Break the internet. Someone is going to do that thing you really want to do. It might as well be you.
In cities across the country, there are heroes among us. Gun violence prevention experts and interrupters, conflict mediators, lifesavers, and essential community leaders.
Another episode of Take Time Out with Tre Mosley. I am your host, Tre Mosley, and my guest is a native New Yorker, so you're going to hear the accent, but it's all good. That's my dude right there. On-screen, VO, and I think he may have done some stage as well. We're gonna get into it. He is an actor who just happens to, do a little thing called VO. But let's not get it twisted. This cat is an actor, and he's a newlywed, and we're gonna get into that too. Give it up to my main man, Malik Rashad. What's going on, boss?
What's up, bro? Appreciate the intro, man. Honored to be here.
Oh, we always, we like to give flowers above ground.
I appreciate that.
You know what I mean? So yeah, let's get into it. So, we like to talk about the before. Mm-hmm. And I always start off that way because I think it's good for people to understand that the road to voice acting and the road to acting in general, not everyone has the same road. Sometimes there are detours, and sometimes you just get a roadblock and go somewhere else. For you, and specifically just acting, period. How did you get the bug? Were you a theater kid in school?
Nah, not at all. Actually, not at all. I look back now and wish I would have explored that more creatively when I was younger and been a theater kid. But actually, I got into acting. Like, music is kind of the foundation for everything for me, creative-wise. Well, when I was a kid, like, I was always, with the term creative now, we didn't have that. So now it's like a creative. But I was one of those kids, like when you get those, what was the magazines? You get it every week. I forget the name of it. Highlights.
Oh, yeah.
Highlights, and you get the shout out to my wife for this. Highlights, and you get the things, and you can make at the crib and all of that. Yeah, I was one of those kids that was always doing stuff like that. And then music. My mother was she went to LaGuardia Performing Arts, so she was trained in modern and ballet. So, and I feel like there was different people in my family creatively. So I was always like the artsy kind of creative kid. Then I leaned heavy into music. It's funny now that I'm doing voiceover because I used to hear it on TV and be like, I could do this and try different stuff when I was younger. But I definitely wasn't a theater kid. I was always into music though, but I was also an athlete. Like, I was a ball player. So I went away to school. In high school, I actually went away to a prep school in Ohio to play ball. And the funny part now is I look back and like I'm on this campus and they got these endowments and this amazing campus and all these resources for whether acting and voiceover, and I didn't do any of it. I was like, nah, I didn't do any of it. Somebody asked me to read for something back then, they'd probably have like, you lost your mind. And also I didn't really like to be on stage. Like, I want to say shy, but I didn't like a bunch of attention. And so it wasn't until years later, like getting away again, I was in college, I played ball high school. When it didn't really play in college, just was doing college. I left school, and that's when I really got into music. I left college to really pursue more music dreams, and I went to the Institute of Audio Research in New York to originally learn, like, being a producer, just learn the other side of it, learn the engineering, learning. Eventually that led to me like linking with a crew of like-minded people there, doing some producing, but it kind of fell apart where it was like, all right, well, you got to rap now. Like, our rapper was gone. And that led into, you know, because I would mess around with it, but I wasn't like trying to be a rapper. Like I was trying to be a producer. And I would mess around with it and play, and the crew would be like, "Yo, you got to rap more, man. You good?" And I'm like, "Nah, I'm just doing it like we always do. We have fun and we rap, et cetera, et cetera." But when we was trying to do it, and you know, life happens. My boy who was rapping at the time, Al Bangin, shout out to him wherever he's at. He already had real life going. Like he had a seed on the way, things like that. So you know, things fall apart. And it was like that's how I kind of ended up rapping. And that kind of started taking off, which in turn led to just other creative outlets. Like I would start writing for other artists, and I started working with singers.
Okay.
But I would work with them, and I wanted to be able to at least be like, "Yo, this is the note," because I'd be like, "Yo, that's not the note," but I couldn't let them hear it. I would just say like, "Nah, that's not it," right? So I wanted to just be able to use my instrument more. So I ended up taking a vocal class at HB Studios here in New York. And that's in turn where I met. You go around a class introducing yourself, and there was a older white gentleman in there who was introduced himself, said he was a voice actor. I stopped him after class and got some info on a few coaches. One of them was Ed Lewis, my guy Ed. I just randomly ended up picking him, did some private coaching. And he was like, "You never did this before?" And I was like, "Nah, man," but I would practice. Like I'd be in the house and be like, "Oh, I can do that." And just, man, because, you know, it's like your instincts are pretty good. One thing led to another. Ed reached out to Access Talent for me. I ended up rocking with them. It was crazy at the time. I didn't know this, but I booked like my first gig they sent me an audition for. And he was like, "Yo, that never happens. Like, it took you like a year, right?" Like, and it just, I think it was just God, man, because, you know, my vocal type, it was like, I'll never forget, it was Made in America concert. And they wanted like a Nas-ish type sound.
Got that rasp.
Yeah. And so it just worked out. So when I went in, because I didn't even have a demo at the time. So when I didn't have a demo. I literally, that's why I say it was God. Like it was, I think the demo was $1,200 at the time. And the gig literally paid $1,200.
Wow.
And so I was at work. I was a bouncer for a long time, and I get an email from my agent at the time of action. It's like, "Hey, man, I think this is going to work out good. You're on hold for this." At the time, I don't even know what that means. So I'm emailing Ed like, "Yo, what does this mean? Like, is this good?" And he's like, "This is amazing." He's like, "I love being right." He's like, because he's like, "It's a great thing even if you don't book it." But essentially broke down what being on hold means. And he's like, "You probably don't realize it, but this doesn't happen like this. Like it's supposed to take a longer time for things to happen." And so I ended up booking that. And that was the exact amount I needed for my demo. And back then, $1,200 is still a lot of money, but back then it was way more than it is.
Oh yeah,
now, right? You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was like, shit, this $1,200 is costing me. And I was like, "Yo, that's nothing but God telling me like this is the path I'm supposed to be on." So that's how I got into. But acting actually came through music too. Just somebody I knew through music. But like, "Hey, I know somebody doing this play, and I think you'd be perfect for a role. Would you read for it?" And I like, you know, whatever, cool. I didn't think too much of it. I read for it and I booked it, but then I was an understudy for Nashawn Curse, and people probably don't know Nashawn Curse, not a household name, but dude is a good ass actor. Like he's been in a lot of stuff. He's just never had that crazy breakout role.
Yeah.
And so I'm in the room with all of these people, and I'm like, because I had did little stuff before, but it was just close to being me, right? So it's not hard to do stuff that's close to my environment.
Yeah.
I was around that and was like, "Oh nah, these are actors." Like I was like, "Oh nah. Like I don't even low key belong in this room right now." Like I was feeling myself, whatever I was doing. And so that kind of gave me the bug to really like, I want to get better at this. Like I want to be good like them. You know what I'm saying? And that was what led me to get the bug in acting. And then as I was doing that, like I said, I was still doing the music, and I took the HB studio class, and that opened the door for Ed and the voiceover, and that all kind of spun and intertwined, etc.
You know what's crazy? Hearing you tell this, and you know, I tell people all the time, or I've told people, usually one discipline of the arts is relatable to another discipline of the arts. So when you were talking about being in music and you having to give somebody the note, that's just like in voiceover when we have to give somebody the line.
Right.
And if they're saying, "No, the line is this, hey, you can't do that," and the person's going, "Hey, you can't do that," that's like you saying, "No, this is I need you in G, and
Right.
you sharp right now. So I need
Right.
you get on that G or get on that C, because you sharp right now, and you killing my ears. It's the same thing in voiceover. The
Yeah,
line is
exactly.
one thing, and if you're reading another way, and now that booth director is going,
Nah, it's the musicality of it, like
yeah.
we talk about. Yeah.
So I thought that was cool that you brought that up. Now I don't have to ask the question, because you already answered the question. But I want to go back to, you said you was playing ball. So was you hooping or playing football?
Nah, hooping. I wasn't. They when I got out there, they tried to make me play football, and I'm like, yo, bro, y'all did not bring me out. Like I'm 5'9" now, so I'm maybe 5'7" in my freshman year. And I'm never the biggest dude. I'm like, bro, y'all did not get me out here, because the school I went to, like, you're technically supposed to play 3 sports. You're supposed to play every season.
Oh, okay.
Especially like as a freshman, I think a sophomore, like you play 3 sports. And I'm like, bro, y'all did not bring me out here to be getting tackled by 6'1", 240-pound white dudes that just play football. Like, nah. So eventually my coach got me out of it, because I remember going to practice, and I actually liked football. Like, it was cool. Like, I liked playing cornerback. I just don't want to tackle dudes like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to tackle. Like, I like playing cornerback. I like playing running back. So when we do the little Oklahoma drills, or just when I'm playing cornerback, and I also, again, I had never played like organized football in my life. I didn't know the playbook. I wasn't studying. I wasn't into it that much. So as long as you just tell me to go here and guard him, I'll do that. But as far as me knowing, I ain't even gonna lie, I wasn't trying to do all of that, bro. And the first time I got hit, I think they set me up intentionally. It was like that cold mist rain. It was like a movie.
Yeah.
Put me in running back. I'm going, like, why am I going against the starters, bro? Like, I'm barely even at practice. Y'all got to come get me half the time. Put me in. I hit a hole. I'm thinking, oh, next thing I'm on the ground. Crack barely feel my arm. I'm like, yeah, nah, bro. I got to talk to my coach. Y'all ain't bring me here for this, man. Like,
So
I'm not.
He rocked you real nice.
Man, listen. And it was my boy, too. I never forget him. Jeremy Swartz. Shout out to Jeremy. He was a senior, but he loved me. He looked out for me. But he rocked me, bro. Like, and I was like, nah, bro, this ain't for me, man. Like, I ain't. So I was hooping. Man. Like, yeah, I was hooping, playing ball.
Was you nice? I mean,
I was pretty good, man. Like, I got, I was pretty good. I got a ride to go out there and play. So I was pretty good, man. I played with a lot of really great players. Like, when I went to the junior high school I went to, was essentially they gathered us at this Catholic school for the purpose. Like, we never lost. We won state championships.
Wow.
But it was like we were like stacked. Like, so I had Andre Barrett, who was our point guard, and he was like the number 1 point guard. And like, Andre Barrett, you see Mike Boynton, who coached Oklahoma State now with Cade.
Wow.
Kyle Cuff, who played at St. John's. Like, we were known for that. So
that's crazy, man.
At that time, we were that level. They obviously better than me.
Yeah.
But I was pretty good, man. Like, I played against LeBron. I was either a freshman or sophomore. Played against Maverick Nolan because I was out in Ohio, so we played them. I was decent. I was decent enough.
Did you? And I know we're supposed to be talking about VO, but did you see it in him early?
Absolutely. I would tell people, absolutely. Like, no question. Like, you would hear the hype. And before him, like, being in Ohio, there was when I first got there, it was these 2 kids, the Tarver twins. And I've seen a lot of ball players. Like, I'm telling you, people I'm playing with. So I know, like, you see that thing. Like, you good, but it's levels to everything. So they were good. And then the next before him was Jawad Williams, who went to North Carolina. He was good, too. But I'm like, when I saw him and people would ask me, I'd be like, yeah, nah. Like, I couldn't say he was going to be this, of course.
But you saw something.
But, like, put it like that, we up. I think the first half, we was up, man. Like, we was up. We was in the game. Either it was up or it was close game, whatever. And it was like, he just took that, flipped on the second half, and it was like game over. Like, there's nothing you could do. And my best friend at the time went to play for Colgate. He's 6'6", lefty, nice. Josh was nice. This kid was a freshman. There's nothing you could do with this kid. Like, it's nothing you could do with this kid. Yeah. So yeah, I absolutely saw it from. Yeah. Like I said, I didn't know he would be LeBron James, but you knew he was special.
Yeah, because you always, there's certain athletes that when you hear the stories, it's good to get a firsthand account, because sometimes people like to elaborate or embellish. but
Yeah.
for someone that was right there on the court, you know,
Nah.
I think it's cool because you saw the man-child grow and was like,
Right.
yeah, y'all
So I think it
watch
was like the next year when I was in college, like he was on a Sports Illustrated cover, and people would ask me, like, even I'd be like, yeah, bro. Like the same thing. Like, again, I couldn't predict that he could be arguably the greatest player of all time, but I knew he was destined for the league and to be really, really good. Like it was just a switch, and to be that young, and I'm still young, but to be for him, to me be 16, 17, him be 14 or whatever he was, it was like, nah, I ain't never seen nothing like that. And I've seen like great players firsthand.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, I've never seen nothing like this, bro. And like I said, coming from the environment I was playing in and high level New York City junior high school, that it was like I've seen greatness.
Yeah.
But to see that kid, it was like, yo, this kid is different. This kid is different. There's a picture they could posted not long on my high school poster playing. That's where he's just on a fast break dunking it crazy. And I was looking like, yeah, he was him. He wasn't filled out yet. He was slim, but he just had a gear. It was just too easy for him. It was too easy for him.
Man, that would have been something to see. But now getting back to what we were really on here talking about. So let's backtrack a little bit. So you said that your mom was very creative. She was a dancer. How did her influence being in the arts help you to kind of guide you on your path? Because sometimes, we see what our parents do and just naturally it's like, well, let me see what mom do. Let me see what pop's doing. Oh, okay. That might be what's up.
Yeah.
Did it have a direct influence, even though you're not a dancer? But just getting in, the arts and being around creatives like that, how much of an influence seeing her do what she did impacted you?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't never think I've been asked that because I don't know if it directly influenced me. Maybe subconsciously. I think the most part that influenced me was seeing her make a way with the arts, right? Be able to find a lane, even though it wasn't like her full-time thing. Like she started her own dance school and had recitals and
That's what's up.
was hired to be teachers at other dance schools. So it was like a thing, right? And I was like, so it definitely showed me a lane to make a way with the arts, even if I didn't realize it back then. And it showed me, a business side in pursuing that too. But as far as directly, I would say no, because I think as a parent, like when I first saw my mother, I was about to do music. She was like, "Oh my god!" Like as a parent, you want your kid, you want them to be safe in a way, I guess. So like have the best life you can provide. And there's a million rappers, right? But there's a small percentage that actually make a living from it.
Right.
And so musician, whatever it might be, not that she didn't believe in me. Because eventually she was so whatever you're gonna do, just be the best at it.
Right.
She just would always be like, I would always be telling her like, if I don't go to the NBA, I'm gonna make music. But I remember the first time I told her, I saw like, it was a music, was it Wu-Tang? It was a music video. But I didn't want to be a rapper. I was like, yo, if I don't go to the NBA, I'm gonna be a music producer. And she was like, oh my God, my son with these dreams. Siri, I'm not talking to you. And so, but it was like, all right, just have a plan B. Like, and she would always be like, everybody like have a plan B. If you go to the NBA, then be a sports therapist, this, that. And I would hear her, but in my mind, it would be like, yo, it ain't no plan B. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to do nothing else. Like whatever I was locked in that time, I didn't want to do it. But she would insist on having a plan B. And as you get older now, I get it. But I'm still an advocate of a lot of ways, fuck a plan B. If you're really locked in and you really want to do it, I feel like a lot of times you got to say F that plan B, because you always going to feel like I could fall back on this. If this don't work, then I could just fall back and do this. And I ain't want to have that. I wanted to have like, I ain't going to have nothing else to fall back on. I got to make this work. And so I think she influenced me just without her knowing it. But I also think she wouldn't have picked a necessarily creative. Now I think she looks back, because I think it's yes and no. It's hard because I know she believed, but as that parent, you want to make sure your kid is just going to be good and successful and have a good life. So I think yes and no. I think yes and no. I think it was probably more subconsciously and indirectly than either one of us realized.
That's cool because, you know, a lot of people in my family are educators, and I never thought about teaching, but I get along with kids, and I've been in environments where, like when I was living in DC, I used to, on my lunch break, talk about parallels. I would go on my lunch break and read to children for lunch. And just the connection I had with the kids, you know, when I'm reading the books, I'm doing voices, you know, and it's crazy how things that you've done along the way
tie back in.
Yeah. And I remember, and I had no idea what voiceover was or thought about it as a profession. I just called it an announcer or whatever. And people are like, you have a great speaking voice. You should do something with it. I'm like, I don't know what the hell to do with this because I didn't know how to get into that lane. So I'm just like, I guess, you know, but it wasn't until you get older and like you said, if there's something that you really want to do, you don't think about a plan B. It's like, nah, it's plan A or nothing.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, so once the Hoop Dreams was done, you producing, and you know, as you can look back there, I got my setup back there, so I'm still.
I'll be seeing at the beats and all of that, man.
Yeah, so you know, it's one of those things where you went one lane into another. So the music production, it was starting to blossom for you. What do you feel was the turning point for you that said, okay, I'm feeling it, but I ain't feeling it to where it would have been your career now?
I mean, it's hard to say because it kind of still is, right? Like it's still parts of it. Like I get people every day to ask, like, where's the music? And so I think a part of it for me is around at some point in the 2000s. And even before that, but it became much more prominent in the 2000s. It became about everything but the music.
Gotcha.
Right? It became about your image, your social, like your following. Like it became about everything but your actual talent in the music. And I was never good at playing those games. Like I remember having a manager being like, man, they love you, your music, but they just want to see your face more and they want to market you and they want to have you in different things. And I didn't really want to be like Drake in a way. And I'm not saying in a bad way, but I didn't want it to be like you buying this shit for my album cover. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted to focus on the music.
Yeah.
And it was cool if that was part of it, but it was just like I didn't want to be out in a mix. Like I didn't like being at events, especially industry events. So I would always have like a homie with me who would just kind of be like my spokesperson because how me and you link is just organic, right? Like,
yeah.
And I'm more comfortable with that. I'm not the person. There's nothing wrong with it. I've never been too good at just being in a room and being like, yo, I'm Malik Rashad, do this, boom, 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 boom. It just, if we start talking organically and it's like, yo, I'm Tre and I do voiceover, I'm like, oh, me too, and I do this, then cool. But I just was never, I guess, good at selling myself or just, and at the time I was really just, I was a hood dude. I ain't really like going to these events like that, man. It just felt super Hollywood. So I always had my man with me who was more of the live wire. So part of it started being like, man, and I didn't like performing a lot at the time. Like I love performing now, but it would be like I have a hot song and you don't like to perform. You know, my stage game was trash. So eventually I started getting better at that. But then I don't know if it ever switched. For me, it started being like, even now, we're still trying to figure out. I used to, like, my wife would tell you when we first got together, it would be like, man, I just want to build a fan base and go on tour, right? And just grind that way.
Yeah.
And then I started writing, like I did a soundtrack for the show I was on, Tough Love. I did a soundtrack where I curated it, but I wrote like majority of the songs too, even the R&B songs. It's like one song in the whole joint that I didn't write. And it started getting synced and placed in different, I had a couple of joints different placed in different spots on TV. And I started being like, yo, this is a whole different lane. Well, I could kind of like do this, be out the way, and then put my own music out my way and do it my way and stuff like that. And so that was kind of like the lane that I really tried to make focus on. And at the same time, voiceover really started taking off for me. And that's what was making the money. Right. And so I'm married, you want to start a family, you want to do this. It's like, this right here is what's feeding me. So I got to give this the most attention right now.
Right.
And so it's like a part of, like my wife was saying to me, like, I miss you performing. I miss you doing this, like that. It's just right now, it's just finding the time because I'm working on it. I got some things in the works. It's just finding the time to really be able to pour into it like I want to. So I don't know if I ever have fully transitioned yet to saying it still can't be my career, right? Because it's like I still like I would love to keep doing stuff where I'm syncing songs and movies and TVs and just getting quiet checks. And then if I want to go build my base and go on tour, I can do it with my own. I can do it. I don't need nobody else, right? I can just do this my way.
Yeah, ain't nothing like that mailbox money, man. You just
man, that mailbox money is different. You know
that I matter of fact, when we get off of here, I want to share something with you in regards to syncing and music and all that because I created something that I think is going to be pretty dope. I haven't shared it with too many people, but yeah, stay tuned for that. So let's fast forward. The bug. Acting is one of those things. You have some people that are born to do it. Mm-hmm. You have some people that fall in love with it, and then it turns something on, and you like, yo, it's one thing to say, yeah, I could do that, but then when you've done it, and it's like, damn, I'm doing it. Did you have that moment that you went from, yeah, I could do this to, oh, damn, I'm doing it to, yeah, this, all right, let's go.
Absolutely, man. I love how you phrase that too, because I feel like some people are born to do it. I wasn't one of those people. Like I wasn't born to be an actor. I think some people are born to do it, but you still got to work at the craft, and it just hones it and makes you that much sharper. Mm-hmm. Like you look at, and I'm sure they'll say they weren't, but you look at, for me, I look at Viola, I look at Denzel, and I'll be like, yo, they was born to do this right here. Like they probably had to get better and hone it, but they came out like God was like, you going to change the world. This is your gift right here. Mm-hmm. The bug for me, I felt like I loved it. I started to love it when I got around, like I said, when I was doing that play and I was around actors, and it made me be like, I got to get better if I really want to do this. Like I can be the dude from around the way because I am the dude from around the way. But what if I'm a dude that's a doctor and I know nothing about that? How can I make this? How can Malik be this person and be real? Mm-hmm. So it developed there and me wanting to get better. And then the moment when it kind of happened, because then I was taking some classes, but not consistently enough. And then my little sister told me about the show Tough Love. Like she was watching it before I even knew about it. It's like, oh, they audition in New York. You got to go. And I ended up booking like a real major part in that. And that took off. Like it started on YouTube, got nominated for an Emmy, which I didn't even know could happen at the time. Then landed on TV. So that was a moment where it was like, this is dope. I'm doing it. But for me, I still was like, I got to get better, right? Because the character I was playing, it wasn't too unfamiliar to me. So it wasn't too hard to do.
Yeah.
I think when I really started feeling like, oh, you could really do this shit, I took a class, my best acting coach ever, Anthony Aberson, this crazy old white dude. I love him. Started taking classes at the Producers Club in the city pre-COVID. But even from my first audition, I was never a dude. Like I always be amazed that people could cry on like it's command. Like yeah. Like because you don't really realize how tough that is in an actor. First of all, the pressure. Everybody's on you. They're looking at you, and you got to perform. You got to cry in this. You got to tap into something to get you there in this moment. And I remember doing my audition with him, and it was a monologue I had found that I always wanted to take to that deep level. And whatever he did and whatever he said to me, like I naturally started crying while I was doing it.
Wow.
And I was like, yo, this dude is amazing. Because I did it the first time and he said, all right, that was good. Now do it again. Do it again. This is how he talk. And it's just whatever the little things he had me tap into. He asked me some questions, I think, about my life, my family, to get me into that mode.
Yeah.
And I left there, and I think I called my boy who referred me to him, and then I called my fiance, now my wife at the time, being like, "Yo, this dude is amazing," right? So I get into class, and I'm around all these other aspiring actors, but also like so much fucking talent. Like you just being it, like iron sharpens iron, right? Like so,
Yeah.
I'm in this room with so much talent, and it just forced me to really become better, like to really be like, nah, because you sign up for scenes, right? You got to sign up to perform. You sign up for work, like you get to work once a month for your class.
Yeah.
And when you getting up, you want to work and be better at your craft, but you also got an audience, and you're watching some performances like, yo, this is amazing. And you don't want to be the person to not have an amazing performance. Like,
Right.
you don't want to be that person where it's like, that was cool. Like you want to be like, yo. And so for just being around, I would say just being around that. And I remember I did that monologue, I did it again. I performed it again just to see
Mhm.
where I was at without his direction. And he always had this phrase of like not coming out of a vacuum. When I did it, and it's just naturally, I'm talking about a funeral like my best friend. And the whole time it was for me, I was really like talking about this funeral, and it just was so I was so mad that nobody recorded it, because a lot of times people record shit in class, and my wife was mad, and I was like, yo, this is probably the best performance I've ever given, just because it was just so real. In that moment, I was like, I could really be good at this. Like I've done stuff that people know me for, but I still didn't feel like I was that good. I was
Yeah.
like, I could really be good at this in that moment.
I've one of the things that I like that acting does for us, be it stage or voiceover, um, we have to deconstruct ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
because now you're not Malik in that particular instance. You're
Right.
whoever this cat is that's going through some things, and you have to put yourself aside. Like, what is he feeling? What is he going through? Is it anger? Is it angst? Is it anxiety? Is it depression?
Right.
Or it could
And
be
you had
all
like I
of
love
that.
what he did it because you
Yeah.
narrowed it down, right? Like
Hmm.
it's not just, oh, he's mad. Well, what is he mad? Like, why is he mad? Or
Hmm.
it's like, what is he happy? Like he's like happy about what? Is he happy because he hit the lotto, or is he happy because he's having his first kid? All of this is different things, right? So
Hmm.
I loved how you broke it down into those, subsections, because it's that finite that you got to figure out. And it's not just, oh, go be yourself. It's like, nah, Tre ain't this person. So I can't just go be yourself.
It's true, because even in voiceover, when we get specs and it says, okay, black male between 30 and 50, and let's say it's for a narration, and or even for a video game or animation,
Mm-hmm.
and they're saying that he's happy-go-lucky, or he's an old grizzly veteran.
Yeah,
And it's like, okay, what made him old and grizzly?
grizzly,
I mean,
right,
other than age, because you get old. But
right.
there's some old people that are very nice, and hey, young fella, how you doing? But why
Mm-hmm.
is he sitting over there like, fuck you, look at?
Right.
You know what I'm
What
saying?
was
Like,
his experience that made
yeah.
that?
So you have to keep peeling those onion layers back. Oh, I see. So he was a reluctant soldier. He didn't want to go into the military.
Right,
He had
right.
to go.
To
Then,
create that backstory.
yeah, he moved up through the ranks and started finding out the politics behind it, and was like, yo, this ain't really my thing. You'll do it, or we gonna send you wherever. So
Right,
now you get like, oh, that's why he mad. Like, yeah, I'd be
right,
mad too if I went through that. So I
right.
think that's important for people to know, because it's more than just picking up that piece of paper and saying, okay, it's okay, he's this, all right, go. You really have to get into the mindset and become the person on that paper.
Exactly.
And the
You can't
better,
just come from the vacuum.
yeah, and the better you are at translating those words into action, into emotion,
Mm-hmm.
then that's what acting is. And I feel that the more you tap into that side of you and learn, and I had to do it because, you know, reading promo and doing narration is a whole different thing from when you're trying to create a character in an animation and create a character in video games. And I struggle with that, because for me, getting copy and telling somebody, it's an all new so and so tonight, 8/7 Central on CNN.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to diminish and say, oh, that's easy. It's not that it's easy, but the majority of my work came from that side, and I had to get training for it. So when I made the decision that I want to do video games, and people are giving me copy, and it's like, okay, you're a 35-year-old father of two, and this is a very playful scene, and I'm like, well, one, I ain't married. Two, I don't have children.
Right.
I don't know how to relate to this.
So create that world.
And I did not have the switch at the time
Mm-hmm.
to go, all right, you're a 35-year-old, father in Brooklyn, and you on the stoop watching your kids play, and you telling them watch out for the dude on the bike. So now I'm sitting there going, okay, there's a stoop, there's this guy, there are the kids, and it just came out wrong. I'm
Listen,
like,
it's all that's just,
yeah,
bro. We gotta learn that, right?
Yeah.
Like we gotta learn to not, like he used to always Anthony say, don't come from a vacuum. What's your why? Create the scenario. So when you go into that, you're sitting in that casting office, you're waiting to go into that audition. Don't be sitting, Mary, like you in that world. If you a killer, look at all these motherfuckers in here, like people you gotta assassinate. So when you go in that room, you're not coming out of this vacuum and you ready to go. You know what I mean? Like you have your why.
Yeah.
You know what the scenario is. All right, boom, boom, boom.
It's like the old joke when you watch movies back in the day and the actor's like, well, what's my motivation? That's a real thing.
Right. It is. It is. But sometimes if none of that is familiar to you, then you got to create it. Like Tre, you from Florida. I don't know nothing about sitting outside watching nothing in Florida. But if I had that role, I might reach out to you. Like I do, like I had an audition for a firefighter. My boy's a firefighter. Yo, how would you hold this? How would you hold that? If I had something, I might, yo, Tre, what was y'all doing back in the day in Florida? You know what I'm saying? Like use your resource. It makes you really challenge different things if you really, really love it and want to be great at it.
Yeah. I had somebody reach out to me. He was like, man, my family grew up in Chicago and then we moved to the West Coast. I don't know nothing about the South. Like he was trying to get the dialect of how to say certain things to make it sound Southern. I said, well, here's the thing. The South has many regions. You got Georgia, you got Kentucky, you got Texas, and then Louisiana's
I'm about to say you throw in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Louisiana in general will blow your head up because just going from New Orleans to Shreveport, it's a whole different thing.
Like I've had to do a few books where I really had to study dialect. And it's like, oh no, this is Geechee. They call this uptown. This is like I just had to do a Geechee accent. And I was scared to death. Luckily they love it, but I really studied. You know what I'm saying? Like I was like, these joints ain't no joke. And like you said, it's just because it's the South. It's so like in Florida alone, is probably different dialects.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Just like Louisiana is different, like you said. So it's very, very. You got to be really on it, man. You got to really.
Yeah, you really do. So, if you were to have your what I call the I made it moment, and let me give you the scenario. So you grinding, you working, you've had good success, but maybe not great success. But all of a sudden, you get that one role, or that one part, or that one booking, be it on camera or voiceover, and you go, yeah, I think, and it may not be the ultimate I'm here, but at least you're saying, like right now, like this is a good spot for me that can only take me higher. Like, have you had that moment yet?
I think yes and no. I think on the like we talked a little bit more, like over the last few years, I've started to do a lot more audiobooks, and I've gotten really popular in the Black romance world. And just overall period, like now, like I'm booked with audiobooks through like January of the new year.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a blessing. So I think, and it seems like it's only going to keep elevating. right? Like it's because I'm always the type of dude that's like, I got to keep my edge, man. Like my therapist is like, he said to me one day, prove me that it could all go away. Wow. And I was like, well, you put it like that. He's like, your book through this time proves to me that it could just go away. And I was like, when you put it like that, I can't necessarily. But that's my edge. I'm always like, yo, somebody out there want this spot. I got to be working. I got to be doing, because he's like, yo, you need to take a break. And I'm like, I ain't taking a break right now. Like, I gotta get to it. So I think on that side of it, it's definitely like, I look and I said, like, I talk to people and I say, man, I really, because for a while I was like, I ain't doing audiobooks anymore, bro. This is too much. You know, we coming from a different world. It's a lot more work.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm passing up too much money. And I love doing it for the acting aspect of it. Like, I love that part of it. It was just a different process. But I started being like, nah, I'm letting too many bags go by just because I don't feel like doing this.
I feel you.
And so it started to be like, nah, I got to. So on that end, like this last year, like my pseudo is Miles Washington for all the Black romance. I've been like,
I was going to ask you if you had a pseudo, but
yeah. So I just took my favorite jazz musician, Miles Davis and Denzel, put them together when it's something smooth.
Nice.
And so I've done the Black Romance Festival. I'm working with top tier publishers. I'm getting invited to speak at different things. I'm working on that whole brand. So I feel like on that side, like there's a moment, and I'm not the type, like I'll sit and talk to my wife about certain stuff and be like, man, this is crazy that it's happening. But I don't know if I'll ever feel like that moment, because I feel like the further I get, the further I want to go.
Yeah.
So I try to always remember the times I prayed to be where I'm at and be like, man, don't take this for granted, because when you were standing outside of bounce hole, you used to say to you, whatever you was doing, you used to say, yo, I ain't going to do this forever. Like, this is going to happen. And so to see that coming to fruition, where like voiceover is all I do to pay my bills and take care of my family, that's the I made it moment in itself, for me. But like, yeah, so on the voiceover, on the narration side for the audiobooks, I feel like I'm having those moments and I'm recognizing more like, yo, people are really, this is crazy. Like some of the opportunities, the rates I could command now, the things I'm like, this is amazing. On the flip side, on the acting and the other side of voiceover, no, I haven't yet. Like I know there's been like getting nominated, being part of a series that got nominated for Emmy was amazing. Having your family see me on BET, on TV One, these things are great. But one, for me, that's like, if that's the highest thing in my acting, and I love Tough Love, it's amazing. So it's not to discredit that, but it's just for me, if that's the last thing I'm really known for, then I haven't accomplished what I want to.
Yeah.
Because and again, no spite to Tough Love, because I think it's amazing and it still has things to do and grow. And I love the creators. They're gonna keep doing amazing things. So I don't want to make it like I'm slighting them, because that's an amazing part of my career and I'm super proud of that. I just know I wanted to keep elevating and do other things where it's like, you did Tough Love and you did this, and I know you for both.
Yeah.
And on the voiceover side, I've had some great moments, right? Like I've done campaigns for White Claw. I've done campaigns more recently for Wells Fargo, but I'm like, I want to get that joint where like you're the voice of this brand for like 2 years. Like we just locked in, and you like that golden handcuff gig.
Yeah.
I ain't got that yet. But again, I'm thankful for every bit of success I have, bro, because from the time when me and you got close to now, the growth and everything has been amazing, just financially and just learning more about the voiceover field. Because pre-COVID, when I was forced to slow down, I've been doing voiceover for a few years now. I wasn't super new, but I really was new about learning all of the business, right? Like I only had one agent who I love and I'm still with, but I didn't even know or think about exploring West Coast agent or management or reaching out to clients on my own. It was like getting game from you and a lot of people just made me be like, oh shit, like what have I been doing? Like, cause I was almost treating it like the acting game, right? We're like, all right, you get this and you get a guest star, then you get this and boom, boom, boom. When voiceover is completely different grind. It's a completely different grind. So I haven't had that moment yet. I do feel good, like talking to people, like to know like my reps and everybody thinks highly of me. which means I'm doing good work, because that's ultimately what you want to do. But and especially like with different agencies, like I feel like I've had super success with Access. Like I've done a lot of great things. I was with ACM for a time, I'm not with them anymore. I did a lot of great things. At SBV, I booked stuff with them, but not the ones I want to yet, right? Like I'm like, oh, I want to get these with them.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like when I talk to them, they're like, yo, relax. Like we know, like, yo, relax, you good. But for me, I'm like, nah, I ain't get this yet. So I wanna show y'all that I could, but it's really just me thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause they not worried about it. They're like, yo, what's gonna happen? So yeah.
I think we are our own worst critic. Mm-hmm. Because we can be booking and booking and booking, and there's still this. Yeah, I've done that, but man, I need a chance to do that because I still haven't done that thing yet. What would you say on either side, on screen or in voiceover? So I'll split it down the middle. Mm-hmm. On screen, what's a role or a show or a character that you like? If I ever get a chance to play this, or if I ever get a chance to be on this show or to do a film with, like, what would that be? And then in voiceover, I know you kind of touched on it, saying being the voice of a brand, for a few years or whatever. But is there like maybe a certain type of animation or a certain game? Like, do you have those boxes that you like, I need to start checking some of these off?
Yeah. I think on the acting side, I think it's one I want to do two things, right? Because acting is kind of like they get a headshot and they put you in a box and they're like, this is all right, you're this, so this is what you. So I would get a lot of like love interest roles or like athlete, and it's cool. It's love them. I'm not mad at being typecast, right? I tell people that because it can mean you're working, right? If you're good and you get typecast enough and you really get to, it means you're working. But I love doing character stuff. Like I love doing something that you wouldn't expect me to be doing. You know what I mean? Like I would love to try to do something comedic, like, you know what I mean? Like somewhere I could just be something, just a comedic role. Cause we laugh and joke all the time, but people don't get to see it. I would love to do a comedic role. I would love somebody I would love to work with, of course, Denzel, but also Nikki Bahari. I think she's amazing.
She is dope. Yeah.
Viola, of course. I want to work with 50, man. I really want to do some gangsta New York. I was mad I wasn't in Ghost or Power or none of them, man.
I was just thinking, like, bro, you would have fit right in.
Bro, one of the casting directors was like, yo, you remind me of a young Amari Hardwick. I was like, yo, bro, let me be his little cousin or something, bro. Like, throw me in there. Yeah. Let me. I really want to do something. So I really want to do something. There's three things that I really want to do on the acting side: a boxing role, and that could just be a movie, a one-off. I want to do like a gangster iconic New York series, whether it's with 50 or not, just because I just want to do that for the culture. Yeah, but I want it to be like, not just the joint, like how Snowfall was. Like I want it to be like, yo, this is The Wire, Snowfall, like something where it's like people is like, yo, that's a role that people gonna always know Amari is Ghost, no matter how much stuff he does.
True.
Damson is probably always going to be Franklin. So something like that, and then something comedic. And on the voiceover side, I really want to do it don't got to be a Boondocks, but I really want to do a Blackish cartoon, right? Where it's funny, but it's also dropping gems. And I don't really look to that as something getting cast for. I look to that as more something I want to create.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think nobody will do our culture like we can do it. Unless it was being created by Magruder or somebody else who already then it would be like cool. But I really want to create something like that. Video games, man, I'm open to whatever. Like it's cool, man, because I remember doing a career day at my nephew's school, and I forgot what video game I was, and I wasn't even a main character, but I'm talking to him and I'm like, yeah, I've done it. And they asked, and I'm like, yeah, I did it. And everybody goes crazy. So it's cool to be like, yeah, I've done a video game. I don't play enough to know like which ones that I want to be in. Of course, if I could get like a Tre Madden KO, or you know what I'm saying, or if I give me an NBA 2K spot, something like that, that would be amazing, man. Because I grew up playing like those, but I'm just not in touch with the other stuff enough anymore to really know those for real.
Let's touch on. I know you said you went to your nephew's thing and everybody was like, so family. You are. Has it been a year yet? Newlywed.
Hell, it's been. Is this? We going? Was it 3 years?
It's been 3 years.
Yeah,
Bruh,
we got married July 2022.
Because it you know. When
but people, I still guess it's kind of newlywed. I guess
it's kind of because I remember the pictures from the actual event. That's
Time
crazy
flies,
that it's
bro.
been 3. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Time flies, bro.
So then this is going to be even more poignant. Having her support. How has it affected you? Just being married, period. Having that person that's got your back. I don't care if you auditioned 50 times and didn't land nothing, but knowing that if you go to her like, babe, it's been a shitty week. If I go off, I'm not going off on you, or maybe you don't even go off on her, but she can look at you like, baby, what's wrong? Like how does that feel? Because there are people that are in this industry that go at it alone and they don't have that kind of support or encouragement, and not just from a spouse, but just from family or people in general. So talk about the importance of that, doing what we do.
Man, I can't state the importance enough, because our highlight as actors and voice actors, we are blessed to like have success and really be able to live this, right? And we both come from humble beginnings, and we had to work to get where we're at, and still working to go further. But there's somebody out there that working their ass off, and it's just not happening for them, right? And it's the biggest callback, the biggest highlight of the year might just be a callback, right? And nobody will understand that if you're not in the industry,
right?
Like you're doing all this, you're doing all that, and all you got to show for the year is a callback. You need to be doing something else, right? Like that's it's like, because you get a lot of times when you're doing something creative, people will say, "Oh, you still doing that thing?" Like if they don't see the immediate success, right? Like I hate that still thing. Don't put that on people, because for me, it's like, are you still at the job that you hate? Are you still doing these things? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, are you still doing these things? So don't try to belittle my aspirations and what the dreams I'm chasing. So it's important to have, like you said, of course, in our case, a spouse or family or somebody. And I had to learn that, because I'm the type, I would go at it alone. I would carry all that. I would carry that. I'm gonna deal with it. It's me. We men, you know what I'm saying? It's like we bred a lot of ways. Like you men, you carry that weight and you deal with it and keep pushing. I had to learn that it's okay to have a lap to cry on. You know what I'm saying? To have my wife. So because she's caught me the first time she ever experienced it, we were on a cruise, bro, and it was nothing to do with it at all. Like she had took me on my first cruise. We weren't married yet. I don't even know if we were engaged yet. She took me on my first cruise. And I don't know why it hit me at that moment. We were having a great time. We just in a room in the cabin. And she was in the bathroom doing something. And there was something came, and I started getting emotional. And she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Yo, I'm thinking about all of this stuff that I haven't done things like this. I've sacrificed all of this, like cruises, things my friends are doing, things my family doing. I've sacrificed all of this shit because I'm chasing a dream that may never happen."
Right.
Like, I'm like, I get emotional thinking about it now. I'm like, yo, this shit might never happen. I'm putting all of this into it, and I ain't got no, like, this might never happen. And she was like, "Of course it's going to happen." Like, like she had to walk me back off the ledge.
Yeah.
So it was like, damn, but like I felt crazy for having that moment with her, because I'm like, why is this happening right now? And I think it was just me enjoying it so much and realizing like, yo, you sacrificed a lot to try to get to where you're going, right? And to say like, I'm on this cruise, I've never done this, just because all my money will go to saving or paying bills. You know what it be when you're struggling to try to chase a dream?
Yeah.
I don't got the extra to do all the other shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't buying a fly car. I ain't doing this. I ain't going on this trip. because it's all going back to either pay bills
You're
or back
pouring
into
back
my
into
career.
yourself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so for her to be in that moment and really walk me off the ledge and get me like, yo, of course it's gonna happen. And for you to have that belief in me, it felt great, right? It felt great to be like, damn, because my family believed in me too. Like I don't, but it's hard, bro, doing stuff we do, and if you're not really in it, you don't really understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even when we explain it, you can't really feel it and understand it because you're not doing it, right? Like I'm not a construction worker, so I can't know that feeling of hauling them damn bricks every day.
Right.
I can understand you're tired and you're worn out, but I can't actually feel that shit.
Yeah.
I can't feel those emotions you're feeling. I can't feel your disappointment. I can't feel all of that.
Right.
Like I said, for a long time, my biggest success was a fucking callback. And it's like, yo, I'm busting my ass, bro. And ain't nothing happening.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what acting class became a saving grace too, because a lot of times that she would tell me, like, try to walk me off the ledge. I never want to be back in the street like that. But for a lot, I was like, yo, I can't do this job no more. I can't do this. And I was talking crazy. And she'd be like, yo, your mind is going crazy right now. Like,
just
no,
chill.
Please do not, like, please don't go to this because it's going to happen. And so acting class became like cathartic for me. And I'll tell them that, like, this kind of saved my life in a way. Like, people would say that and I'd be like, man, if I didn't have this outlet between this, my wife, and being around other people who's going through these struggles and seeing it. Because I would leave acting class and I'm a bouncer at the Bowery Ballroom dealing with some shit I hated all night. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dealing, I got to just be like, yo, I'm waking up, chasing this dream every day. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I was working a few jobs. It would be like, yo, I'm about to rob this bank. Or I'm about to go back to the block. Or I'm about to do that, like, real conversations.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm about to go back to the block. Or I'm about to do this. And it was like, yo, I don't want to be doing this shit for real. But it was just like having that person to be like, you can share that frustration with, you can share the disappointment, and then you get to see it manifest. Like, I talked to that about it recently. I was like, damn, babe, like, you really been through, like, to see where I'm at now, you really been through it. You know what I'm saying? To see the success I'm having financially, all of it. It was like when they say somebody really been with you, to see, like, you've seen it.
Shoot with you in the gym. She was in the gym.
Yeah, she was shooting with me in the gym for sure. I can't say she wasn't shooting with me in the gym.
So how did y'all meet, man?
At my job. Like, it was crazy because I wasn't going to go to work that night. I had, like, an interview for some acting shit before. But my guy at the time was always cool with me. Like, he knew what I was doing, so he would let me rock. Like, he wouldn't trip about if I came in regular clothes. He was just like, yo, man, you cool. Don't worry about it. So he's like, man, just come to work. It was a party. It was up here. It was actually some down south dudes that started this party called Grits and Biscuits up here.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
They was doing Grits and Biscuits. Then they had another one called Saturday Morning Cartoon. Grits and Biscuits took off. I think they still doing it, but it took off crazy. They were doing it everywhere, but they was from down south. And this one was the Saturday Morning Cartoons joints where it was a lot of focused on 90s music that we grew up on. Okay. And so he was like, man, just come, man. You're going to be chilling anyway. Have a good time with the door. So I came straight from the interview. I'm in my regular clothes, but I used to work the door with him a lot. So it's funny because she's like, you ignoring my ass at the door like it was nothing. And I was like, man, I was so programmed at the door. You could have been Halle Berry walking up. It was just like, man, show me your ID. Take this wristband and go ahead. Because you get so used to dealing with it.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I don't care who walking up, bro. Just go ahead. So she came to the party. Like, I wasn't going to come to work. And she was like, she wasn't going to the party, but her friend convinced her. At some point, a few of my boys called up. My boys like, yo, go ahead, man. Go enjoy the party. She's at the bar talking to somebody else. And I just whisper in her ear like, yo, after you buy the drink, let me come talk to you.
That's a player shit right there.
Yeah, fortune favors the bold, man. And so that's how we met. We ended up dancing that night. And I think she said the thing that got her when I asked her, like, do you read? And she was like, nobody ever asked me. Like,
in a club. Hey, do you
read? In a club dancing, like, yo, you read? You like to read? And she was so thrown up. But that was a genuine question for me. Like, shit, like, we vibing. I felt like it wasn't like a vibe for the night vibe. I'm like, we building, we talking about shit. I like to read. I like people that use their brains. So it's like, do you like to read? And we didn't go out we actually didn't go on a date for like a month because that's when I had first booked Tough Love. So I was just on the move a lot. And from there, man, couldn't get rid of her.
Oh, you couldn't get rid of her. That's what it is. That's cool, man. That, it's it's funny. You weren't supposed to be at work, but you were there. She wasn't trying to go to the club, but she ended up being there, and then y'all end up being together. It's when things are meant to be, they meant to be.
Meant to be. That's a fact. That's a fact.
So yeah, shout out to wifey for sticking through, because we have had those moments where you tell someone your dream or what you're trying to become, to aspire to be a better person even, and everybody ain't feeling it.
Everybody's not feeling that.
They get mad at you because you had an audition and you missed the party, and I can recall certain accounts in my head where I've dated women and they may have wanted to go somewhere and do something, but for me, because I was also working 9 to 5, the weekends is when I would do a lot of my auditions.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll be there. It starts at when? 8. I can't promise I'll be there at 8, but I'll still show up. And then you show up and it's like attitude. Oh, you finally came. I'm like, I could have not come at all.
Yeah, lucky I came at all. You know what I mean?
So
and then like you said, at the time, like I would literally, it could go a month and I would work every day, right? Because if I don't work, I don't get paid, right? It's not you get days off, you get sick days. It could be a month straight that I'm working every night, right? Like every woman, that ain't for the faint of heart. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not at all.
Yeah. So when you popped the question, where were you?
I have mom's crib. I have mother's house. I knew that was important to her mother being there to witness it. So yeah, we were at her mother's house. I set it up to where it was like, because I wanted my grandmother to be there too, because my mother's out of town, so I knew she probably wasn't gonna be able to be there. But they was all informed, like when I was getting a ring and everything, like they was boom boom. Because we was visiting my mother maybe a month, maybe a few weeks before, maybe probably a month. And that was the first time we looked at rings with them, like just when we was out somewhere. And she was like, she was off a high for that. Wasn't expecting no time soon though.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what, man, fuck am I waiting for? Like, fuck it. I went and got the ring done and everything. And I called the pops, asked for his blessing.
Okay, there you go.
Spoke to her sister about like, trying to get it set up. And I had it where like my grandmother's friend, I was like, oh, because I made it like, oh, let's go out to dinner. But they going to drop me because like she lived out in Queens and my grandmother would go to like a JC. I was like, oh, they're going to drop me because Granny's going into JC Penney out there or something. And we just go come in and say hi to their mother. And that's how we set it up and did it.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I will say, watching you grow and a lot of the young brothers out there, watching y'all do it, and y'all all doing it your own different way, which I think is cool, because sometimes just naturally when you get into this business, you look at the people that are already there and you're like, I want to do it like Tre doing it. I want to do it like this person doing it. And you may take some stuff from me and some stuff from somebody else, but you take it and make it your own. And I just want to give props to you, man, because I know you don't, you like me, you don't like folks to be like, yo, you did that thing, that's dope. So I watch, I don't always say, but I'm watching, and you doing your thing, bro.
Bro, I appreciate that, man. And I got to return the flower because, I tell you this all the time, man, but I've took a lot from you just in spirit and just, we didn't know each other from nowhere, bro. And I remember the first time we connected, we was on like, you was just showing a bunch of us some stuff on one of them from the group, from the Black Actors Voice group.
With a Zoom chat.
And I asked you a question, something about my website. You was like, let's go to it right now. And gave me some game right there. And then I reached out to you. And the way you was just, because I'm not like that with everybody, bro. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm big on energy. We come from different environments where I don't rock with everybody. And you see a lot of stuff in this industry where people be one way and you see them and you be like, oh, they phony as shit. So for me, I was like, yeah, I don't rock with a lot of people like, you know what I'm saying? So, but with you off the rip, I was like, man, this energy is so genuine, and you would just always be so open. If I could be a small question, be a big question. It was never like it was something that was bothering you. It was never something that was stupid. You would actually go over to give me extra and be like, well, why don't you try it? Then you put me on to the dudes with the YouTube channel. So it was always like, yo, this is my guy right here, man. Like you always, I still ain't figured out promo framing yet. but you my guy. And I'm always watching you. Like I reached out to you about somebody recently, like, yo, we'll talk about it up, but like, yo, he's trying to get in this. Can you kick it to him? Because I'm always telling people like Tre's, that's that guy. You got to talk to him, man. Like that's one of our modern greats that got to get his flowers. And even better solid dude. You know what I'm saying? Beyond the industry, just as a person.
Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you. So our final question, and we'll let you get up out of here. How does Malik Rashad take time out for himself?
Woo, that's the $1 million question. You sound like my therapist right now. I'm trying to get better at it, man. Like I'm trying to get better at, because like I said, I treat the books like my 9 to 5 now. And everything else is just like the extra toppings, right? Because I know that work. We auditioning, we know we get a book, but you audition against so many people and so many great people that's like, you don't know exactly when it's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can't lay it with the books. I'm like, all right, I know this work is going to be here as long as I want it. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be so locked in, and like I had to make a point to start learning. All right, my wife comes in from work. I got to stop the studio. I got to come out. We got to get these at least a few hours together. And also I got to just take time, like you said, for me. So what do I do? How? I'm a gym rat. I try to get it to the gym as much as possible. It's nice out now, so we'll hit the park a lot, whether we running or walking and doing some stuff in between. I got out a good bit this summer. I made sure to like get out and enjoy time with my friends, time with my wife, of course. I love to watch a good game, man. I'm a big Lakers fan, big Giants fan. So I know the Raiders. Y'all won.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. He's ready. So that's right. So I'm trying to get back to really having that balance and making time for me. And at the same time, like we want to start a family soon. So it's like once that happens, it's like that's gonna be
another
the focus of the world. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's really right now, I'm trying to go on like a Golden State run in this audiobook world right now. Because it's something happening in this world, whether it's not just audiobooks, it's audio podcast. It's just an explosion. Like I was talking to a couple of my boys about it at one of the festivals, and I came and read an article and said it grew by like 200 billion in the last year.
Wow.
And so I don't see it slowing down no time soon, but I also am like, if I don't want to do this in 5 years, I want to be able to walk away and be like, I'm good. Right. So I want to lock in on a 5-year run right now, at least for now, and really maximize this. But within that, I know I got to find this balance. So I guess that question is forever evolving, bro. Like I'm still figuring out how and when to make sure I'm taking time for myself, taking time for my wife, taking time just to breathe and keep it balanced.
I mean, the one thing about learning how to take time out, and that's one of the reasons why I named the show what it is, because I wanted people to learn not only what got us here, but also that we have a life outside of this. Because when I'm in this room and I'm up here, I'm not the same cat that when I'm taking my wife out to a movie or out to dinner or just on the couch chilling. You know what I'm saying? You have to have some type of I know they call it work-life balance, but then there's those times where if you and wifey ain't chilling and it's just you, and now you're sitting like, well, damn, I'm usually with her. But what I'm gonna do now by myself? You still got to find something to do. You know what I mean? So, finding little, like I got vinyl. I got
I got my vinyl too. I got vinyl. You start getting the stuff, my plant. my plants. I'm a heavy plant guy.
Really?
I'm a heavy. I thought you knew. We talk about that. Yeah, I got a whole I got a plant. Somebody convinced me to make a plant page. I don't be posting.
I knew you were into, but you saying heavy, so like you gonna have like a botanical garden and stuff, man.
Yeah, me and Granny kind of got one, man. I'll send you some pics and videos, man. Like we got a whole little jungle going on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's what's up.
It was to the point my wife was like, all right, no more plants a bit. Like enough to the point we ain't got no more space for these plants somewhere else. So yeah, I'm a heavy plant guy. So that's definitely a relax. My room goals is to have my room, my vinyl, my plants and everything. And that's just my room where I go to have that me time with my records, put some headphones on, vibe out. Might put some in the air and chill, man. That's why I'm working so hard to get that room, Tre.
I hear you, man. Tell the folks how they can find you on the socials, man, and to keep up with what you're doing.
You can find me on the socials at Art by Malik Rashad, just ARTBY Malik Rashad. And if you're looking for my narration, it's Miles, MYLES Washington, like Denzel. Miles Washington Speaks on all socials. I'm mostly on IG. Miles has a TikTok, but it's hard to do too many socials for me. So I'm mostly on IG.
I feel you. Well, bruh, you made it, man. We done.
Listen, I'm honored to be here. I made it. It's my honor and pleasure to be kicking it with you, man. A timeout. This is major.
All right, y'all. That's Malik. I'm Tre. Now, go take some time out for yourself. We'll see y'all next time.
Yes, sir. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Take Time Out with Tre Mosley podcast, part of TMX Creative. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on YouTube on the Take Time Out with Tre Mosley YouTube page. Thanks for listening, or thanks for watching. Either way, we'll see you soon.